Let's talk about when you returned from Afghanistan, and you went to the doctors. Why did you go to the doctors that day?
Yeah, so I returned from Afghan, and then we get paid pretty well. For young diggers, we're paid very well over there. We really are. So then I travelled Europe for about 5 or 6 weeks. Didn't get up to any mischief at all, which no one does over there. As a young bloke on Kentucky, nothing happens. Go to
You didn't
churches and
spend
shit.
time in Amsterdam, did you?
No, none of that.
Oh, mate, what a beautiful
Anyway,
place.
I got back. In my first week of work, I just had a headache I could not fucking get rid of. And I was taking codeine at the time. This was early February 18.
What were you taking codeine for?
For the headache, to try and alleviate something. That was the same week that codeine became a prescription drug. Whatever it was became prescription. So I was like, I'll go see a bloody doctor about this. I'll just hold off. I'll just stop taking it. See what I can do.
Yeah.
Like Friday came around and I see my section commander. I'm like, hey, look, mate, I can't do fucking PT today. I'm fucked. And he's like, he would know that I'm not someone really to miss PT. I just grind through it. Then I did a couple of skydives on the Saturday, and then rang up Sunday like, look, I can't jump. I'm in bed. They all just assumed I was hungover and skiving out of jumping. But then I rang my corporal on Sunday. I was like, hey, look, mate, I'm not going to do PT Monday either. My head's fucked. And he basically just came back with, look, Willie, I had a mate die of a brain aneurysm. It's not happening again. Tomorrow morning, you got to go straight to the medical center. And if you don't, I'll drag you up there myself. Anyway, went and got a CAT scan. Then the radiologist basically rang me and was like, look, I'm not your doctor. I can't actually tell you anything, but you need to go see him right away. I walked back into work that Monday afternoon after my CAT scan and had an MRI that same afternoon, booked already. A couple of days later, saw a neurosurgeon, got a pre-diagnosis, which without cutting you open, they can't really tell you what it is from a pathology, but they can have a look at the density and size and all that sort of piss. It sort of went from there. I was on, getting a hospital table to get a biopsy taken out of my head to see exactly what the tumor was. The funny thing was in this, I mentioned to one of my doctors at the time how bad my shoulders are aching. I went and got some dry needling and some physio, and my fucking shoulders were causing the headache, not the tumor.
Right.
I'd hurt my my traps from wearing, because we wear body armor all day over there if you need to. And being a crew commander of convoys in vehicles, armored vehicles don't have fucking much room in them. They're not an S-class Mercedes. So you're sort of hunched over in there in your body armor, and it had caused tears in my traps. And that was causing the headaches. But by chance, through that, we found this bloody thing in my head.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's one of those stories where you just go, like, where would you be now if you didn't have that headache from your trap?
I don't know. It
crazy.
can play in your mind. Would I just be doing my thing? Would have it, not caused any issues? But I guess one of those things you got to think, because people ask me that, I'm like, yeah, but I did find it. You can fantasize about shit, or I fantasize about driving a Lamborghini every day of my life.
Yeah, but I think it's a good thing. Yeah. It's good that you found it. I mean, you've done
fucking oath.
Everything that I've read about you've done since that point has been so positive. And do you think you become more of a positive person since that diagnosis?
I'm a better person for it. I remember coming out at a conference I was speaking at, and my opening line, which was, the best thing that's ever happened to me is getting brain cancer.
Yeah.
And in many ways, except for the dying bit, except for that, it is the best thing that's ever happened. It's I don't want to use the word enlightened because then I'll sound like a fuckwit. But it's opened up so much shit to me. It's made me realize what is important, what isn't. It's made me realize, stop spending time with people who are fuckwits, who upset you, who don't give back what you give into their relationship. And it's really shown me that I am mortal, that I'm going to die. We all know that, but it's not very prevalent in our mind. We sort of just get on with life, and that'll happen when I'm 80. And it showed me what was important to me wasn't the stuff we have as our wallpaper. It's not a Ferrari or this big house, whatever. What I was most disappointed on getting my diagnosis was that I won't get that white picket fence family lifestyle and see 40 or 50 or 60. That's what hurt me. And then that's what really helped me be like, oh, fuck, this shit we've got is so fucking important. Stop worrying about the shit we don't have. And, just living in Australia, that puts me so far ahead of anyone else in luck, of 0.1% of the world, just geographical fucking luck.
Yeah.
And it really, people need to take some honor and some pride and responsibility in that, of it. But look, you say everything I've done is positive. Not all of it has been. That initial diagnosis, it's fucking hard on a young man. I was 21 at the time.
Wow.
And, that's fucking hard. I went about it with anger and with, aggression and shit. It's a fucking hard diagnosis.
So sorry, take us back to where you were. They were talking about a biopsy, and then you went on to the shoulder was causing the headaches, and we sort of went on a tangent there. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so they did the biopsy, and the biopsies take about 6 to 8 weeks to come back.
Yep.
But in that time, I just mentioned to one of the doctors, like, while I'm here, my shoulders are killing me. And he's like, I'll get you to go see a physio, get you some dry needling and release the muscles. And that cleared the headache up perfectly. The neurosurgeon said in the first appointment, oh, look, this normally wouldn't show up as a headache. He's like, are you sure it's not something else? So they're completely unrelated. But yeah, the biopsy, that time of waiting for the biopsy was fucked. It was worse than coming back and saying you're dying tomorrow. Hanging in limbo is fucked.
Yep.
It's the worst thing. And I went in to get my results and we forgot to do this one. There was a fuck up in the pathology. It's going to be another 2 weeks. And I just dropped my fucking show bag, man, and I was fucked. It's a hard thing, bro. I got the official diagnosis on my 22nd birthday in March 10th. So
yeah,
that couple of months was fucked. I wasn't who I am. I wasn't who I used to be, and I wasn't who I am now.
But nothing prepares you for that. That's not something that you're trained to do, or you learn how to do at school, to deal with death being on the doorstep, for lack of a better term.
Well, this psychologist the first psych I saw talked me through this when I was struggling. And he said, like, Willie, you're not a bucket list guy. You've just done whatever you've seeked out to do. You join the army, you skydive, you scuba dive, you do all this bullshit. You're one of those, you'll go and do it. He said, you need purpose. And I needed to refine the purpose. But he also went on to talk about trauma, because he said, oh, you've got PTSD. And I was like, no, I don't. PTSD is from getting blown up in Afghanistan. Or something. Yep. He's like, no. He said, it's traumatic. It doesn't matter what the trauma was. He said, what do you do if someone shoots at you? I said, oh, well, get on my guts, crawl, run, shoot back, do whatever. Okay. What do you do if you get blown up? Oh, this. What do you do if I've lost my leg? Oh, put a tourniquet on. He said, has anyone ever taught you anything about or lessons on you walk into a sterile doctor's office and get told you're dying? And that's when it became true of, holy fuck, the most traumatic thing that happened in my life wasn't any of that shit overseas or the day-to-day. It was nothing ever prepared me for going into some white bullshit doctor's office and him being like, hey, mate, this is what's going on. This is what we think. That honestly was the most traumatic thing that could have happened to me, because it's such a cold-blooded fucking thing. It's not, you're in combat, someone shoots you, you go down and get killed. It's one of those cold-blooded fucking, may as well put a gun to your head and put you on death row.
Now, this is not this in the same vein, but I was in a similar situation with a strange health diagnosis, one that sort of come out of the blue. I was having these problems with these. Eventually, it's diagnosed as some form of frontal lobe epilepsy. But around my 21st, I was probably 20 at the time. I started to lose control of my head. It happened maybe once or twice a month, and my head would turn like that, and I'd go blind in this eye, and it'd just be a weird thing that happened for about 10 seconds. I'd remain conscious, all that type of stuff. I played footy at the time. If it was a big ricochet of the head or whatever, that's when it would happen, because for whatever reason, the misfiring of the neuron just freaked the brain out, and it went into sort of shutdown mode. So anyway, I go to the doctors on my 21st birthday, and the doctor says to me, mate, I think you've got this disease. And I said, Doc, what's that disease? He said, you know, people in wheelchairs who are, they're stuck, they can't move, and they're out like that, arms extended and all that type of stuff. That was my initial diagnosis. And at 21, that just like, I go, oh my God, am I going to die? Am I going to be in a wheelchair in 6 months? Where am I going to be? But to what you said, that gave me the kick in the ass to actually do something with my life. I did my first stand-up set a month later, and I've been putting that off for 2 years at this point. And the reason I did it was I was like, well, I've got nothing to lose. I might die here. I need to do something. So let's do it. Let's get out and get it done. And I went on over time, and I started a ketogenic diet because of it. I heard that it helped kids with epilepsy, so I tried it, and that stopped it. When I got off that diet, I had another one of these attacks. It was very embarrassing, and it was in front of people, and it was a scary situation. And I developed a form of PTSD from that. And it's difficult to say to people, oh, you don't have PTSD. Well, it's a traumatic experience to have this in front of people, and then you're always avoiding it or you're scared of it. I find that a lot of people with epilepsy are terrified of it happening because it comes without warning sometimes. And that was a big learning curve for me. I was able to get that diagnosis, have that PTSD. I developed a lot of anxiety and panic attacks from that, things that I deal with to this day. Like my first Australian tour, I was having constant panic attacks whilst on stage. Craziness. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I am a better person because of it. I am kinder. I am a nicer person. I'm more introspective. I want to learn more. I want to be better. And all those type of things. It's amazing how something so horrible can be so beneficial for you and everyone around you.
Yeah, fucking oath. It's that kick in the ass to show you what's important, and you don't have all the time in the world to achieve what you want, or at least try to.